Hi there, my name is Emma, and today we have a slightly advanced lesson. So for some of you beginners, this might be a little too advanced. So what we're going to talk about are comma splices. So before I begin explaining what a comma splice is, I want to do a little quiz. So I have 4 sentences up here. I want you to read them. We'll read them together, and I want you to tell me in which sentences do I use a comma correctly, and in which sentences have I made a mistake. So question number 1, black bears are beautiful, comma, they have shiny coats. Question number 2, I love watching movies, comma, I hate watching TV. Number 3, my friend, comma, a student at the University of Toronto, comma, lives on campus. And number 4, I watched soccer yesterday, comma, it was boring. So take a second, look at them, figure out which ones you think are correct and incorrect. So number 1, this sentence is incorrect. In this sentence, we have an example of a comma splice. So pretty much, just to give you some background, what a comma splice is when we have 2 sentences. So each sentence has a subject and a verb. Second part has a subject and a verb, and they're incorrectly put together with just a comma. So look at number 2. I love watching movies, comma, I hate watching TV. So in this case, again, we've made the same mistake. So this sentence is incorrect. We have a complete sentence, I love watching movies. If I put a period here, it could stand alone. Second sentence, I hate watching TV. It has a subject and a verb. It's a sentence, but we've just put a comma between them. They're incorrectly combined. Number 3, my friend, comma, a student at the University of Toronto, comma, lives on campus. This sentence is actually correct. So this one, you can give a big check mark. We're not making a comma splice mistake. We don't have 2 separate sentences in here combined with a comma. Finally, number 4. I watched soccer yesterday, comma, it was boring. Do you think this is a case of a comma splice? Well, if you look at it, you have the subject, I, the verb, in the first sentence. In the second sentence, you have it, which is a subject, and a verb. So again, you have 2 separate sentences that have just been combined with a comma. Now, comma splices are some of the most common mistakes I see in writing, both with ESL students and with native speakers. They're very easy to make. Students often, they don't recognize them. They know they're a mistake, but in their own writing, they just don't see them. And so it's important when you do any piece of writing, double check, make sure you're not making this type of mistake. So in this video, we're going to talk about 4 different ways to fix a comma splice. Okay? Now the very first way is very simple. So like I said, a comma splice is when you put 2 sentences together with just a comma. So because we have 2 sentences, the simplest thing to do, if I want to make this correct, is turn this comma into a period. And then just make they a capital. So now the sentence becomes black bears are beautiful. They have shiny coats. They're 2 separate sentences. This is the easiest way to correct a comma splice. Another alternative is using a coordinating conjunction. So what are coordinating conjunctions again? These are what are known as fanboys. So fan stands for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These are what are known as coordinating conjunctions. You can remember them, fanboys. If you use one of these, and remember, it has to make sense in the context of the sentence, this is another way to deal with comma splices. So if I look at the sentence, I love watching movies, I hate watching TVs, I can choose a fanboy. I love watching movies, but I hate watching TV. And it's important to notice the comma stays. We don't remove the comma when we're using these fanboys. So that's the second way we can correct a comma splice. Okay, like I said, number 3 was correct. There's nothing we have to do with that one. A third way to correct a comma splice is to use what's known as a semicolon. So a semicolon is a piece of punctuation that looks like this. So it has a dot at the top and a comma at the bottom. So we use semicolons when we have an idea and we add to that idea with a further linked idea. So for example, black bears are beautiful. They have shiny coats. Now, this idea about shiny coats, it might be linked to the reason why they're beautiful. So if this is sort of an added idea, we can use a semicolon. So black bears are beautiful, semicolon, and you don't need a capital after a semicolon. So it can go back to being a small letter. They have shiny coats. So this is the third way to correct a comma splice, using a semicolon. The final way is to use dependent clauses, transitions for dependent clauses. Now I know that sounds a little bit complicated, but when you see what I mean, it's very easy. We can use words, use this example, like because, since, when, if. These words help the sentence to become an independent clause and a dependent clause. So now black bears are beautiful because, and we also need they have shiny coats. Black bears are beautiful since they have shiny coats. Black bears are beautiful when they have shiny coats. Black bears are beautiful if they have shiny coats. And again, with because, since, when, if, you don't need a comma. So whereas for the fanboys, for and, nor, but, or, yet, so, you need a comma here. For because, since, when, if, we don't use a comma. So again, 4 ways to deal with comma splices: period, semicolon, one of our fanboys, or making it the second part of the sentence into a dependent clause. So because, since, when, if. Thank you for watching this video. For more practice with comma splices, please feel free to visit us at www.ingvid.com, where you can do our test on this. Take care until next time.